This is the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief, keeping you informed about the happenings in Annapolis and the area. Local news, local sports, local events, local opinion, and of course, local weather. The Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief starts now.
Good morning. It's Thursday, September 20th, 2018. This is John Frenaye, and this is your Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. A new poll released by Goucher College shows that Maryland Governor Larry Hogan has a 22-point lead over Democratic opponent Ben Jealous. The poll suggests that a majority of the voters trust the Republican governor more on issues that voters say matter the most. Even in the D.C. suburbs, defined as Prince George County and Montgomery County, as well as the Baltimore metro area, which are typical Democrat strongholds, Hogan's lead is still outside of the margin of error, which is 4.5%. And nearly three-quarters of the likely voters say their minds are already made up. The top issues that were identified in the poll are the economy and job creation at 25%, and the rest come in at about 13%, and those would be education, racial and social justice, President Trump and national politics, as well as health care. The Annapolis City Finance Committee is going to recommend to the full council that the city make a donation of $10,000 to the Capital Gazette Families Fund directly instead of co-sponsoring the Annapolis Rising benefit concert held in late July. At the last council meeting, the numbers were presented to the members of the council, generating more questions than answers, and some members of the council see this as a way of washing their hands out of the project. However, what it also does is it washes any accountability out of the project as well, because then it will be handled entirely by private entities, and there will be no way to know whether it made any money, what the costs or the expenses were, or anything else. And has been our tradition, apparently, this week. We need to beat this dead horse again on the bike path again. Mayor Buckley has an op-ed in the Capitol this morning. He basically says, doing nothing is not who I am. He says he has 4 goals with this bike path. The first goal is to determine whether the city should include a bike path and expand the sidewalks when it rebricks Main Street, which is in 2021 or 2022. Secondly, we must try new things if we're going to strengthen the economic heart of our city. Third, we need as much seating as possible for our pedestrians to relax between shopping and dining. Fourth, the Main Street bike path is the spine of a cross-city trail system that will offer connectivity, activity, and mobility, and it will connect the B&A Trail to the Poplar Trail, Quiet Waters Park, and major employment centers such as Anne Arundel Medical Center, the Annapolis Town Center, and the Westfield Mall. Mind you, the mayor didn't mention that the bottom of the bike path doesn't connect with anything. He closes out the op-ed saying, "Our city voted for new ideas and action last November. Doing nothing is not who I am, and it is not what I promised. Trial and error is how we learn things." He tugs a little bit at the heartstrings. He says, "I think kids and people are more important than cars. And if you agree with him, then join him from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Saturday for the Annapolis Bike Day at City Dock." The mayor does also say that there is a planned protest at 2 p.m. also at City Dock right after his bike day. Also of note on the bike path, this morning at 10:30, a press conference has been called by a bunch of local business owners in front of Eyes on Main Street. We will have more information on that a little bit later this morning, so you do want to check into eyeonannapolis.net later, find out what that was all about. Friday night, the mayor is leading a nighttime ride that will start at the Knighton Garage at 7 p.m. and eventually wind its way down to City Dock. They're encouraging bikers to decorate their bikes with lights and ride down to the dock. However, Ron George, a local businessman and also a state Senate candidate, is organizing a, quote, rally to save Main Street at 7 p.m. at Main and Church Street. They will provide signs for people that are opposed to the bike path, and he does say that people are not allowed to interfere with the bikes or the bike path, and they must remain off of the road on the sidewalk. Now, on the event page for this protest, Ron George has a video of a fire truck making its way up Main Street, trying to navigate around parked cars and the curbs that delineate the bike lane. The fire truck ultimately had to run over the bike lanes to get around the parked cars. This was one of the issues that I saw coming forward and has never really been addressed. Now, again, Saturday, the mayor's ride-in, which is going to start up at Northwest Street, come around Church Circle and down Main Street, gets underway at 10 a.m. It'll wrap up at 1 down at City Dock. There's going to be a bike rodeo and some other vendors and whatnot down there as well. And there is a protest scheduled for 2 p.m., also at City Dock. So just as the mayor's ride-in will be ending, the protesters will be arriving for their own protest. The saga continues. That is about it for the top news today. Please make sure you're checking in at eyeonannapolis.net throughout the day because we do update it throughout the day, and I know we will have an update on that press conference by the business community. It is Thursday, so that means it's time for our Maker's Minute, and we have Trevor on deck. And also, we've got George Young with DMV Weather, and he's got a forecast that's looking mighty fine. And they'll both be here with you in just a few minutes. Save the date, September 29th and 30th, to see Richard Karn, yes, Al Borland, from the hit television show Home Improvement at the Annapolis Home Expo.
I don't think so, Tim.
No, it's true. Richard Karn will be at the Annapolis Home Expo, and while Richard will tell you about what not to do with the home improvement, there will be dozens and dozens of real home improvement contractors to tell you exactly what you should do. Bring in an antique for a free appraisal. Listen to the many workshops to help you make your home into the dream home you always wanted. Thinking about selling or buying? Northrop Realty and Craig Northrop will be on hand to offer tips for staging your home and how to negotiate the waters of one of the most important decisions you'll ever make. It all starts on September 29th at the Byzantium Center on Riva Road, Saturday from 10 to 6 and Sunday from noon to 5. Tickets are only $5 at the door, but get this, if you're named Al, or anything close, or wear flannel, you're in for free. Remember the Annapolis Home Show, September 29th and 30th.
Going out? You need the most up-to-date local weather. Here's George Young from DMV Weather in Annapolis with today's forecast.
Hey everyone, this is George with DMV Weather, and this is your Eye on Annapolis forecast for Thursday, September 20th. If you liked yesterday, you'll really like today and tomorrow with max sunshine and high temps 78 to 85 degrees during the day. And the same should go for Saturday as well, though Annapolis and all of Anne Arundel County could see some clouds moving in during the PM hours with an outside shot of a shower or even a thunderstorm. But at this point, the expectation is for a pretty nice day Saturday, before cooler temps in the low 70s Sunday move in, with showers likely. Okay, that's it for today. This is George Young of DMV Weather. Make it a great day out there. Be sure to follow us on our website at dmvweather.com or on social media at Facebook or Twitter, or our app at DCMDVA Weather in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store. But remember, whatever the weather outside, have fun and be safe.
September 29th, the inaugural Twist and Stout Festival at Quiet Waters Park along the shores of the South River. Twist and Stout, a Maryland wine, craft beer, music, food, and arts festival, presented by the Anne Arundel County Department of Recreation and Parks along with the Maryland Wineries Association. Sample dozens of craft beers and Maryland wines, dance the afternoon away to the sounds of Saved by Zero and the Groove Spot Band. Watch the plein air painters and shop dozens of artisans, crafters, and food trucks. Tickets are on sale now at twistandstout.org, twistandstout.org. September 29th, Twist and Stout at Quiet Waters Park, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Tickets at twistandstout.org. Every week, makers, crafters, and educators hold events all over the area. Highlighting some of those, here's our Maker's Minute, brought to you by Annapolis Makerspace.
Hey, this is Trevor from Annapolis Makerspace with this week's Maker Minutes. Still a few more county fairs coming up. Starting today and running through this weekend is the St. Mary's County Fair, and starting next Wednesday and running to the 30th is the Calvert County Fair. And not strictly a county fair, but the Great Frederick Fair, which started last week, is still going on and runs through Saturday. And with the county fairs winding down, and fall coming up on us, it's time for all the fun fall festivals. Tomorrow in Rockville is the Apple Festival and Campfire. Saturday in Hyattsville is the Downtown Hyattsville Arts Festival. On weekends starting Saturday is the Green Street Gardens Fall Festival in Lothian. Also starting Saturday is the Homestead Gardens Fall Festival in Davidsonville. Sunday is the Wheaton Arts Parade and Festival in Wheaton. There's a Honey Harvest Festival on Sunday in Silver Spring, And both days this weekend is Arts Fest, Fine Arts Festival, at the Anne Marie Sculpture Gardens down near Solomon's. At Art Farm Annapolis this week, tomorrow they have a succulent garden and watercolor still life workshop. And at Clay Bakers this week, on Saturday is another one of their birch forest glass fusing workshops. And Wednesday is Clay Day, making a clay Christmas tree. The PG County Alumni Chapter of the Delta Sigma Theta sorority has their monthly STEM for Families next Tuesday. And the Anne Arundel County Public Library System has their Fall Steam Ahead at the Severn Library on Saturday. Tonight at the Benjamin Banneker Museum in Ellicott City is Homeschool Under Your Feet, featuring geology. Saturday up at Oregon Ridge is a mini aquaponics workshop. And at Annapolis Makerspace this week, on Tuesday, we have our monthly general meeting and open house. And as always, Wednesdays are for woodworking. And you can catch me tonight and every Thursday night for Electronics Night at Annapolis Makerspace on Renard Court. And remember, whether you're making art, software, sawdust, or just a mess, chances are you're already a maker. This has been Trevor for Annapolis Makerspace with this week's Maker Minutes.
Join us this fall as we walk to fight suicide and raise awareness about mental health in Maryland. Proceeds to benefit the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Register for an Out of the Darkness community walk today at outofthedarkness.org.
You've been listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Tell your friends and colleagues this is the podcast where you can keep up on the latest with what's going on in Annapolis. And also tell them about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find even more information. This podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at 7 a.m., keeping you informed with the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. And take a moment to listen to our other podcast, The Maryland Crabs, released every Thursday at noon.